Hello, instructors. I wanted to do a quick overview on how to navigate the um, remote professional learning Google form. Um, on the first page, you will see a set of instructions regarding the remote professional learning. There is a link where you can view the list of sessions by day. I do recommend reviewing these ahead of time and identifying which sessions you would like to watch. You will notice that these sessions are organized by day. So here's Thursday, keynote speaker, session 1, session 2, and then session 3. And then we move on to Friday, a keynote speaker again, session 1. Well, it's 4, but 1 for that day, and so forth. And then you will see Saturday. There was no keynote speaker on Saturday, but there were a total of 4 sessions for that day. To watch a video, you would click this replay button, which will open up a window for you to be able to watch the session. Going back to the Google form, so this first link gives you a list of the sessions, but if you would like to read the descriptions, you could click on the link below. If you noticed on the list of sessions, it just gives you the title and the presenters. It doesn't give you any additional information. So the breakout session descriptions is beneficial if you would like some more information about what is discussed in that particular breakout. Once you have identified and watched your sessions, you will go ahead and complete this form. I started to complete it. I didn't enter everything fully because each of these are required responses. You'll notice the little red asterisk. So I just wanted to be able to navigate through the form. So you'll enter your information. Your supervisor in this case will be Regina. Acknowledge that you've read the directions above and understand the expectations for the remote professional learning. From here, the way that these sections are going to be organized is again by the dates to reflect how the sessions were organized here. So on Thursday, if you did not watch the keynote, then that's the checkbox that you'll want to indicate. If you did watch the keynote, then you'll check that. You'll notice that you're able to select more than one because we did not want to limit which sessions you watched from which day. So if on Thursday you liked all of the morning sessions that were available, you can select all of the ones that you watched. Or if you didn't watch any of Thursday's sessions, you would just select I did not watch Thursday session 1. Same thing, if you didn't watch for session 2, you would indicate that. Every single question does need to be answered. So you would either be indicating that you didn't watch that particular session or check the one that you did. At the end of each day, you are going to list a summary of what you learned in 2 to 3 sentences and also how you plan to implement that particular strategy or a piece of learning into your classroom. Again, 2 to 3 sentences. If you did not watch any of the sessions in Thursday, for example, then you would list NA because there's nothing for you to summarize or reflect on because you did not participate. If you did participate by watching one of those sessions, you again would write 2 to 3 sentences. Here's an example from when Northern had a similar remote learning that we did during Admin Week. You can see here a couple of sentences summarizing the learning and a couple of sentences on implementation plan. So then after Thursday, you would move on to Friday. Similar process. If you did not participate in any of the Friday sessions, you would click I did not watch. If you did, then you would select the particular one that you did participate in. At the end of Friday's session, once again, you will summarize and indicate how you plan to implement. If you didn't participate in any of the Friday sessions, list NA. And then last is Saturday sessions. So all of the Saturday sessions are listed here. Again, for purposes of this little tutorial, I selected that I did not watch any Saturday sessions. And because I didn't watch Saturday, I went ahead and listed NA. However, if I did watch a Saturday session, I would want to reflect in 2 to 3 sentences on what the session was about for my summary, and 2 to 3 sentences on how I plan to implement. And one thing I forgot to point out is when you are writing out your session, similar to how it's listed in the example, you want to write the title of the session and then provide your example. The title helps your supervisor know which sessions you participated in and to be able to compare it to earlier responses. The last section of the Google form is the acknowledgements. So you want to acknowledge that you watched the sessions that you selected beginning to end, that you wrote a summary, that you also did an implementation plan for each. You acknowledge that how much you can be compensated. So if you remember from the directions, it's 1.5 hours for breakout sessions, 1.75 hours for keynotes. You acknowledge that you can be compensated for up to 6 recorded sessions. So if you would like to watch more, feel free to do so. But unfortunately for our budget, we can only compensate instructors up to 6. Acknowledge that you cannot exceed 19.5 payable hours a week. So if you traditionally work 14 hours, but would still like to take advantage of the full 10 hours, you can watch a certain number of sessions during week 1 of your pay period, and then week 2 of your pay period, you can watch a few more. You just want to make sure that when entering time, you should not be exceeding 19.5 hours a week. Another acknowledgement is that your hours do need to be entered by June 30th at 12 p.m. Our fiscal year ends on June 30th, and the reason for 12 p.m. is we want to give your supervisor enough time to be able to review your hours entered in order to approve it. There's a direct link to HCM. If you would like to click on it from here, you can sign into HCM using the single sign-on and log in your hours. And then also asking that you add a comment on your timesheet with the title of each session. I did create a video on how to add a comment, so you can watch that here. I do know the majority of our Northern instructors are familiar on how to add comments to your timesheet. So the only distinction we're adding here is to add the title of the session you watched and how many hours. So if you watch, for example, Thursday's keynote, you would go ahead and list Thursday's keynote and 1.75 hours. So when we see that you've entered a total of 10 hours, let's say, that we can identify where each of those 10 hours are coming from. And once you've completed this, you can go ahead and click submit. You do not have to do this form for every single session. You are able to do multiple sessions on one Google form. So if you watch 3 sessions in 1 week, you can go ahead and submit. And then if the following week you watch another 3 more, then you would submit this Google form again. If you have any questions about the remote professional learning, please feel free to shoot me an email and I will respond to you as quickly as possible. Thank you, team.